This student came to me struggling.
Okay.
Right now, he just scored a 245 on his last assessment. Brilliant student. 245 is typically the average
Okay.
12th grader performance on the map.
12th grade, and he's in
12th grade is the
Okay.
average 12th grader results, and he is in 4th grade.
He's
The,
in
in
4th
218,
grade.
he was
He's performing at the 12th grade level.
Okay.
12th grade average level.
Wow.
So now we're going to move into student-led teaching or student-led instruction. This is a 2nd grader. So right here, as you can see, this is an addition problem with decimals that's supposed to be at a 5th grade level that 2nd graders are now engaging with confidence. And she is going to solve a complex addition problem, and she is solving it accurately. Here's another student with complex subtraction, and these students are supposed to be low performing, and here they are doing complex subtraction within 2nd grade, which is supposed to be impossible. Now, the expectations for 2nd grade is supposed to be 2-digit, 3-digit, maybe max, but never decimal introduction, never big numbers like into the thousands. And as you can see, these students are mastering that skill. So you're given 4 minutes and 25 seconds to construct your multiplication table. You have to be disciplined instructors. So if you observe, you will see every student are engaged, they are focused, and they are constructing their multiplication tables. You can see how large this number is. She's solving 6 times 7,864.96.
So what grade level is this?
And you bring 70% of students in 8th grade, they will not know how to do this. Maybe 30% will be able to.
And then this video is showing is a grade 2.
Yes.
Right. And
2nd graders are doing something that's supposed to be impossible.
And this is not a top of the 2nd grade. This is the bottom of the 2nd grade.
These were the bottom 2nd graders that are now performing at the top of the district. When we first started, and she will always freeze whenever she's trying to get something, and then she will lose it. And so that was one of the things she was doing. She could not concentrate beyond 5 seconds. And here she is doing a complex multiplication, patiently doing it without getting frustrated. Normally she would get frustrated and she's like, I can't do this. And then she will shut down. But as you can see, she's disciplined, she's engaged, and she's overcoming what people perceive to be a learning disability, not learning abilities. I had autistic kids. I had kids with low perform. All of them, most of them are low performing. I had students.
You guys get the same
language,
answer?
English was not their first. And then the next one, as you can see, this is complex division. There's no way 2nd graders ain't aware, and I challenge. Unless you have geniuses, 2nd graders cannot be trained to do complex division. So he's teaching it to the class. So I've had adults coming in the class that he can teach the algorithm, the strategies. The key thing, Dave, I want you to focus on here is the level of concentration, the level of focus, and the length of time by which they're able to concentrate and focus. That's what is missing within our school system. And here's another student. This student had, dad, I mentioned when I spoke with dad, he said his son had. And I said, no, your son don't have disabilities, your son have abilities that have now been tapped into. And again, here is his son. And I remember the last conversation, I spoke with family. He's doing great, doing amazing.
Don't forget to always do your work, okay? Change your answer.
So he's now doing the same thing. So even students that
4 or
have
14? What did you got up there? Is it 4?
English language learners,
Okay, make sure you raise
are still
okay,
able
good
to
job.
bridge the learning struggles and overcome it.
Because we know the average attention span is 9 seconds at this age. And we were watching them doing these math problems with ultra concentration for 10 minutes.
Yeah. But here's the great thing. Not only, so I'll let her go through the process. You can see here, she's not just going through the process, but she's teaching the steps. And this is a multi-level steps because she's doing multiplication, she's doing addition, she's regrouping all those different things at 2nd grade. Mastery usually proportional relationship like what she's doing at 6th grade, middle school level. So she's doing at least a 4 or 5 grades ahead of most other students. Now here's another student. This is the student I was telling you about. This student came to me struggling. That's the one that dad sent the testimonial. Right now he just scored a 245 on his
So how did you get 1?
Brilliant student. 245 is typically the average 12th grader performance on the map.
Okay, so using 7?
And he's
12th grade is the average 12th grader results, and he is in 4th grade.
He's in 4th grade. He's performing at the 12th grade level.
12th grade average level.
Wow.
Algebra, he's multiplying polynomials, but not just doing it, he's doing it in his head. He's multiplying complex polynomials in his head. He can convert fractions like this. He can convert it to 6, 7 decimal places if I ask him to do it. So it is magical once he's unlocked his capability. And this was a student that was on the route to struggling.
Emphasize and repeat that this is a second grade class that is lowest 20% performance, considered to have disabilities and with some with autism.
5.
Yes, all of that, all of the labels
1.
I tend to give them. These students
2.
have been labeled. Some of them have been told that they're not smart.
If I wanted to know which one of those number is in,
as you can see,
what grade is she? Second grade?
Second grade, same class. I would say mixed numbers on this caliber would be about middle school, 6th, 7th grade level. And by especially doing it by hand, when they get to, because the school system have a tendency to lower expectations and give resources to accommodate students so they don't have to think, she's doing it by hand. Notice how intense all the work process is. Again, we're now moving into 5 minutes of concentration. In this particular instance, she did adding, subtracting, she did fractions, she did division. So every skill is developed in this one problem that is required. So she's now
was she able to do this when she first was in class?
Most of these students could barely count. Most of them, when I first met them, when I said add 7 plus 5, they took out their fingers. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's how they were adding. Okay? And when I say 2-digit, they ran out of finger, they struggled. They could now write their numbers to 30 correctly because I tested that. So again, barely adding, barely writing the alphabet, and barely counting past 30 and 40. They struggle.
You took a group of 26 kids were at the lowest 20%, which people would label with disabilities like autism or ADHD, and now they're doing grade 6 and 7 level math. Without
and they were competing without calculator.
And being able to focus for 10 or 20 minutes and while leading the classroom and teaching them as well.
Absolutely. And this speaks for itself because, the reason I have the parents' permission, I sent a letter out to the parents and said, do you mind if I share this? Because
that was amazing. Everybody give her a hand.
Nobody is going to believe this is real.